Moth, you little cocooned animal here. Huh? You ready? Yeah. All right, we're doing it. We're live in it. We have gone the live. Welcome everyone. It's episode number 451. Fahrenheit 451. We got all sorts of things going on. There was a wee bit of gamma today, and then a whole bunch of shares entered the market, and they hammered the stock price of GME back down to $13 and change. Then it went right back up again, and pretty much ended up flat at where the open was. So what's going on? How are so many shares entering the market? Crime. That's how. The max pain for this week is at around $12. So the shorts have to do a lot of work to push the stock price down to keep a whole bunch of options from going in the money for which they probably don't have shares. So if that can keep up, then we might see some juicy stuff happen this week. So my guess is we'll probably see lots of volume again tomorrow, because I seriously doubt if people covered with all of that. I still have some weekly calls. I did not sell. I was up like 100% at one point today, and I didn't sell. I probably should have, but maybe it will happen again tomorrow. We'll see. That's how we roll. Also, this just came in right before the show. It looks like the plan man has announced he's got to get approval from the judge, but that they're going to make good on the bonds for BBBY. What? That means if you have 2024 bonds, you're going to get paid for the value of those bonds. So those of you who picked them up for pennies, good job. You just probably made a fortune. That still has to get approved by the court. But here we are. Just I'm going from thumb twiddling to chin stroking on that news. So we're gonna stroke some chin and go, indeed. Financial news coming out of Japan. Nomura looks like they are going to be insolvent. They got $1 billion of cash on hand, and they've got over $300 billion in liability. I don't see how they're going to last. I don't see it. Tesla announced they're going to lay off another 10,000 workers. So now they're up to about 20% of their entire workforce is going to be laid off. That'll, and then Trump got his 10th contempt charge in court today. He's got to pay another $1,000 fine. The judge just said, if you have to give you another one, you're going to jail. So, I mean, he did say that kind of last time. So maybe put him in jail? I don't know. That'd be wonderful. Is that all the news I had? I can't remember. Oh! I forgot to unbox these yesterday during our special show. So we will unbox the 50-cent Wish items to see what Josh Pet Pals Tennessee and Dmitry Maximoff are getting in the mail when I put those suckers in the mail this afternoon. So we'll do that in a sec. But first, I'm going to do that.
Houston, we have a problem.
Woo! Okay. In other news, Monkey Butt is very sore. She got attacked by that dog. There was a big fight. And then she ran around, did all sorts of things for a while. And then last night, her muscles just seized up on her. And she couldn't get on the bed. I had to bring this thing into my bedroom, put it next to the bed. She can crawl up on this, and then she can get on the bed. The bed was a little too tall. Yeah, I'm talking about you, you sore creature. Yeah, you had a rough day. It's all right. We can move things around for you. Make sure you can get up on the bed. Just take her easy, baby. Give me side eye from there. So she's like slow up the stairs. I think she pulled something in her butt. That's the way she's acting. Bitcoin. GME had 60 million volume not long ago. The price stayed about $15. It's going to take something extraordinary to break this price barrier. I think you're right. I mean, it had a 21% swing today from its peak to bottom. That's or 22% swing, whatever it was, 21% swing. That's pretty decent volatility happening to go woo, woo, woo all over again in one trading shift. We haven't seen much of that recently. So I'm curious. I'm some chin stroking, not thumb twiddling, just chin stroking today. I'm not going to twiddle those thumbs. I'm gonna polish the beard is what I'm gonna do. Let's unbox. I'm excited. I have no idea what these little things are. This is the one for Dmitry Maximov, item number 12. Again, it's like hard. It's got something kind of round. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. My brain cannot map out. So let's... That accomplished nothing except get that thing stuck to my finger. Here we go. What are you? What in the world is this? Oh, that's a plastic bag. No idea what this is. It's some machine, and it looks like it's got a screw, and it punches holes and stuff. And yeah, it's got a little pokey needle. And 3 other size stabby needle things. It actually looks like just replacement needle things. So it's a very tiny balloon popper. I have no idea what this is. It's got 3 more of these things that fit in. Looks like this thing comes off of there and you slide it in. No instruction manual. No, it came in this little tiny bag. Dmitry, if you can figure this out, I would be amazed. I have no idea what this is for. Not a clue. So, some tool for machining something, I guess. And I don't know. Oh, you twist this and it raises it. So this must be some sort of precision machine for like etching, or it's got a little line here so that you poke through whatever you're. What is this? I have no clue. But Dmitry, you're getting this whether you want it or not. I have no idea what that is. So we'll put all that back in there. We'll shove that in there, and then I will mail it this afternoon. You're gonna get this. You can get one of these. Oh, for bike chain maybe? Tool for watch or bracelet removal. Oh, maybe that. Maybe you put the watch band in there and you twink and you push the pin out. Oh, I mean, Poor Taste in Porn should have gotten this for his new watch collection. Okay, and Josh Papel's Tennessee. Let's find out what yours is. It feels like it's one of those like sewing kits or a travel kit for your like fingernail clippers or something. Come on. Tomzaki says watch bracelet removal. Okay, it is a little zippy container. It's where you put your crack pipe. What do we got? It's a little nylon zippy container. It is. Oh, I know what this is. This is to put your SIM cards in. Not your SIM cards. Your like memory cards for, you know, if you are a photographer or videographer, you put all of your little memory cards in here. Ah, that is not exciting at all. Haha, this is what you guys get. I'll put you back in your bag. And for when Josh Papel, Tennessee, takes the thousands of pictures of all the dogs at his doggy daycare, he will be able to store those memories forever. Okay. Those are as underwhelming as I think it gets. So congratulations and thank you for donating, helping support World Central Kitchen. You're going to get the stuff you're never going to use. Okay. Hopefully next month will be something a little more spicy. But this is going in the mail and you're getting them. Okay. What are we doing? What's going on? What's happening, Monkey? Huh? You sore little dog. Okay. Jay Geyser was first. Fred Jones, second-ish. No, I think you were second. And Fred Jones says, Houston, Trump got his 10th warning about the gag order. I knew it. Yep. Guts for long term. Number 2 like. I'll take it. Sis54 says, no, sir. Fred Jones, GME went to 1722, then they hammered it down fast. They did. It went to 1722, and then they dropped it 21%, and then went right back up to 16 and change. Very, very weird action, because we're not selling. You and I aren't selling. No one who owns the stock is selling. Right? Most people, their average is around what the price is selling for right now. They're not selling. So what? Where'd it come from? Naked short selling. That's where it came from. Whole bunch of naked shares went in the market. I'm sure when we look at the first half of May in the FTD report, we will see a boatload. We'll see millions of them in the report today. Copy paste is here. Daniel Harris is here. Jason Blackwell, Houston. The Nuggy Time music sounds like Ron Jeremy era porn music. I'll have to ask Alexander K where he got the tunes. And Jason Blackwell, Houston. My crippled girlfriend broke up with me. I dumped her out of her wheelchair and slammed the door. Guess who came crawling back? That one is horrible, Jason. You should feel ashamed of yourself. All right. Any important messages? Nope. Okay. Koski 406, thanks for answering my question last night about rivers. You're welcome. Chad Clifford, fuckery is real GME. It's all fuckery. Oh, I thought of another thing to add to the Retail Investor Act while I was in the shower today. I have to just remember where I saved it. It was under docs, right? Yes. And are you gonna open? Or are you just thinking? It's thinking. There you go. Open. Just open already. It's opening. All right, we're getting there. I gotta go Chrome. Turn off Google Earth. Go Chrome. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. So, number 14. All short positions can only be held for a maximum of 3 years. How about that? All short positions can only be held for a maximum of 3 years. This means you cannot hold on to these things hoping that the stock disappears forever and never, ever, ever close out your position. No. You got to close it out at some point. It has to be closed out, and you got to pay taxes on it. Boom. This will keep them from amassing these short positions, send them out in swaps all over the place, because eventually someone's going to be holding the bag at some point and is going to have to close them out. Boom. So 3 years. That's it. That's as long as you can hold a short position. How's that sound? Whether you like it or not, I'm doing it. It's on the list. Number 14. So we got no naked short selling, no dark pools, no payment for order flow, no high frequency trading. Make SEC have law enforcement powers. Make fines larger than the crime. Funds must list short positions just like they list long positions. DTC to open book ledger to see how many shares actually exist. No swapping failures to deliver. When a company goes bankrupt, this will result in an automatic share recall broker accounting. Splits only when it will benefit shareholders. No share price requirements for main exchange listings. No one has ever worked in private equity shall be allowed to work in financial regulatory agency. And if your company is trading in the U.S. market with U.S. ticker, then headquarters operations and taxes should all be in the U.S. All short positions can only be held for a maximum of 3 years. There we go. Those are the 14 things I have so far. If you ever think of more, let me know. Oh, did I turn off the intro? Crap. Oh, the nighttime one was on. God, fucking jigger-batter. Did turn off the intro. Just that. Oh, I can hear the cat yelling from outside. Chalupa Batman wants in, but he's outside. So you know what? We will do a Chalupa Batman intro while I go get the cat from outside. You were losing weight, man. Now you just feel like you're putting it all back on or something. Right? Seriously, I think he's gained weight since like last week. You're doing so well. I had you on a diet and everything. What have you been eating? Anyway, Kelly Reese had birthday, Houston. Kelly Reed also says, Ken Griffin, who is worth around $40 billion, just said a default cycle is going to happen again. Fun fact, though his wife moans every time I buy a share of GME. Scratch that, ex-wife. Oats with Goats, Houston. Do we know what happens to planets as they leave the arms of Spiral Galaxy? Well, so the arms of Spiral Galaxy is known as a density wave. And I think I've talked about it on the show in the past. Basically, you've got all these objects in a galaxy, and they're orbiting at different rates as you go through the galaxy. And when they happen to bunch up, you get a whole bunch of bright stars forming, because these are where clouds of gas get more dense. So you get lots of star formation, and lots of big, giant, bright stars form in those little stellar nurseries, because that's where young stars are, and giant stars don't live very long. They live fast, die young. And so the spiral bars look brighter than the rest of the galaxy as a result of all that star formation. So planets, like planetary systems that enter into that area, are probably going to be facing higher likelihood of supernova happening, because those large stars form and they'll explode after a few million years, and they will just sanitize everything around them. So you have a lot of that. You might find yourself in some stellar nurseries where a lot of stars are forming and just too much energy is being put down the surface of the planets locally. So that could also affect like things living and growing. Yeah. So the way I think of an energy density wave is like, and you people in LA will know this. You're driving on the highway at night, and traffic just stops, and you look out, maybe on a little hill, and you look out, and it's just a sea of like red brake lights, really bright red brake lights, and then off in the distance you can see there are no brake lights, and you slow down, and you're going to a crawl, and you're driving through this, like, you can't figure out what's going on. Everyone's trying to change lanes, and it's not happening. After like a mile, all of a sudden you just speed up again. There was no accident. There was nothing. What you hit was a density wave, and that could have been like 10 days ago. There was an accident there, and because traffic is so awful, traffic never let up enough to like allow the free flow of traffic to move through there. So you're now in an I keep saying energy density. You're now just in a density wave, and everyone gets packed together. Their little stars, their brake lights get brighter, and then they speed off into nothingness, and they leave that bar of the galaxy. So the way energy density waves can look, I gotta go paint. Paint's on, chrome's off. There we go. Okay. File? New. I have to draw this one by hand because I don't think I'll be able to get the things that I need. So let's go paintbrush. Which brushes? Yep. That. Okay. So everything kind of goes in elliptical orbits, and those elliptical orbits can begin to meet up with each other. And they can create what looks like the bars or arms of a galaxy as they meet up. So these orbital periods, each little crappy ellipse that I'm drawing represents sort of the elliptical orbit of stars inside of a galaxy. And so this is kind of the mathematical modeling for how we think the arms of a galaxy form, is that you basically get two arms here. You have one arm breaking off this way, and then you have another arm, I can do this right, breaking down, well, that's kind of crappy. But you get basically two arms out of it, and where these orbits meet up is the gas and dust just gets dense enough, stars form, and there you go. So there's Houston's really crappy Eye of Sauron he just drew. And enjoy that. Bam. Haha. Right, little monkey. She's looking at the face. She's like, I hate everything right now. Okay. Code Rex says first starts now. An hour after everyone else. Sad Boy Incorporated's back. Fantastic. Sad Boy Houston, have you seen Pelosi's reported buys on PANW? It's almost as if she has positive inside information about the company, and the smart thing to do would be to buy shares before the end of the year. That's all I can say about that, I guess. Wink, wink, hint, hint, hint. PANW. Palo Alto Networks. Well, the shares are very high. $300 a share right now. Turn the Chrome back on. Turn it back on. Turn it back on. There we go. So $300 a share. What have we been doing for the last year? It's gone up 50% basically. It was as high as 376 back in February. Giant drop. That's probably when she bought right there. It was 267. Now it's back to $300. Interesting. Huh. And all time, doing nothing but growing. Look at that. That right there is a very steady growth company. She obviously knows something we do not. All right. Z, oh my god, dude with nub. 17 shares shy of the 1,000 dream. Oh, you can do it. I have my faith in you. Jealous Money 9501. Houston. Oh crap, Jealous Money. You just flew away because the whole chat just reset. There we go. Houston. Greetings from the sky. Sydney to Brisbane. Where the Earth's flat and Aussies don't exist. You get the best thing you can show a flat earther. Lake Pontchartrain. Lake Pontchartrain, supposedly flat, right? These power lines go on for I think like 26 miles and dip over the curve of the Earth. Ta-da! Here's a great drawing showing the perspective of what it should look like if the Earth was flat. It should continue out like that, but it's not. It's a big giant curve, and you can see that it drops 140 feet or something over that span. So just you get a flat earther, show them Lake Pontchartrain, and they have no answer for that. I mean, there's just plenty of pictures of these power lines dipping off into the distance and disappearing. It's how the Earth rolls, man. Literally rolls. Okay. Sujo's here. BOFH is here. They got calls the sector intro that printed. Any news on No Labs? No news on No Labs. No news on MMTLP since last week when they filed their information gathering rule 202 thing with the federal court in Texas against TradeStation. And burning off of calls and internet issues. Have I had any issues so far? I've had a couple of warnings saying bandwidth was low, but I don't think I've max headroomed yet. So, fingers crossed. I'm trying low latency today. So, YouTube keeps recommending low latency, like do low latency, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. So we'll see how it works today. If that does any better job than the normal latency I have. Okay. Code REDK BBYQ bonds are moon candy. Sounds like it. Snort alert. Oh, Houston. Lots of different news from the financial world pointing to a big crash in June. For example, Citibank erasing its entire option and derivatives trading in Germany and Austria. There's, when you see big banks eliminate things that make them money, it makes you wonder, like, what do you do to make money at this point? Because you're not making credit cards. You're no longer doing home loans. You're not doing auto loans anymore. No personal lines of credit. You stopped doing business loans. You're closing down your financial services sector. Like, where do you make money at this point if you're a bank? If you aren't lending stuff out, is all you're doing is just putting stuff into reverse repo and getting interest rates off of it? Is that the entire bandwidth of the services they provide these days? It's crazy. Olga Natswatsky, Houston, shares for voting, right? Possibly. Shares for voting. Oh, talking about the volume on GME. I think you had to have shares by last week in order to vote in the shareholders meeting for June. So I don't think buying a bunch of shares now would help in that. P Longstock, $130 million in premiums in 3D. I don't know what that's referring to. Cali Bowl 2009, Bonds Bay Bonds. And Cali Bowl, so one of the viewers last week couldn't make it to the Miami Grand Prix. He was like, hey, Houston, you want my ticket? And I was like, I would love your ticket, but there's no way in heck I can make it to Miami in time to watch the Miami Grand Prix. Airline tickets were insane. There was nowhere to stay, blah, blah, blah. But Cali Bowl, who lives in Miami, he got the tickets. He got to go to the Grand Prix this weekend and hopefully had the time of his life. He sent me great videos of everything. And, we're going to take the dog spot. Is that what we're going to do, fat boy? So, good for you. I'm glad you got to do it. First one, what's up with this GME volume insane? I mean, the GME volume is really high, but it's not that high. Like, it's been around 4 million, and we 10x that to 40 million or something today. But during the sneeze, we had volumes of 190 million, and the float was a quarter of what it is today. So, it can get weirder. It can get a lot weirder. France Zoo. Did I say it? France Zoo? France Zoo. Houston, little question. Since hedge funds cannot use crypto for liquidity, how they can still drop the price down? On crypto or just on anything in general? Because I think last week when you saw crypto drop from $67,000 to $54,000, I think that was the hedge funds getting out, selling their stakes, and then buying a whole bunch of blue chips and stuff, or government bonds or whatever, so they can use that as collateral to make plays. That's probably what they were doing. And since then, Bitcoin's right back up to 65,000 today. It's what, you staring at me? Is it because you want drugs? Because I gave you drugs last night? What you want? You just give me the hairy eyeball, man. Okay. This little Batman right here. Oh yeah. Hi, monkey. I'll pet you too. There you go. So I think that's what's happening. Andrew Stewart, Houston. Would you be willing to talk about your fiance and what kind of person she was? I'm really sorry for your loss. Sorry you lost her because of some complete piece of shit. I mean, sure. Veronique was rad. We met junior year of high school. She was an exchange student. She was in just a short exchange, like a couple months. And she asked me out. She was staying with a host family, and then she was in, I think it was my American Studies class. And she looked at me and she was like, that super skinny weirdo, that's what I like. And so her host sister was like, hey, have you met Veronique? And I was like, I have no idea who that is. She's like, this is the French exchange student. And I was like, damn. And she's like, she has a big crush on you. You should ask her to a movie or something. So I did. And I think the movie that I asked her to ended up being like Saving Private Ryan or something. It was something like not a date movie. I was like, I don't know, let's go to this movie. And we just like watch people's heads get blown off and stuff. So then we pen palled it because wasn't email and crap like that going on. She was very not computer savvy. So we wrote letters and stuff. Then she came back that summer for the whole summer. And you know, we did the long distance thing, and then when it came time for college, I lost track of her. Like I'd send letters and get nothing back. And a few years went by, and I didn't hear anything. I just figured like, oh, I just got ghosted, man. Oh, that sucks. And I discovered that like, well, from her later, that I would write letters, and then her parents just like stuck them in a drawer and just never gave them to her. They're like, she'll get this later. And just, so like for years, she got piles of letters and just had no idea. She thought I totally ghosted her. But I got a phone call from her in like 2003. And she was in a complete panic. She had started dating a guy when she went to school in Paris. She had started dating a guy, and he essentially just locked her in a closet. Just shoved her in there and locked. She was in there for like a year, and just held as like tortured, held as a prisoner. Just absolutely awful conditions. And she escaped. And when she escaped, she like running for her life, got hit by a car, and ended up in the hospital with a broken leg. So she's in the hospital in Paris, broken leg. I went to go visit her. Myself and another friend in Paris, we went and went to the guy's house and just got all our stuff. He was like screaming at us, yelling at us. And I just kept packing shit, putting it into boxes, being like, that looks like hers, put it into boxes. He kept threatening me, and I was like, buddy, I'm going to throw you off this balcony. He didn't do anything because I was bigger than he was, and he's just a little Frenchman. Just all he can do is me. Got her stuff out of there. Got her moved into a house with other girls in college, and that's when we we started communicating again. She had been an Olympic level synchronized swimmer. She was Olympic caliber. She also was a fantastic gymnast and very athletic. She was, when she was in college, she was trying to get into acting. And there's a couple of French things that she was in. And one time there was a viral video from, must have been like 2005. She was on some weird French game show. And she's like, it's sort of like a Takeshi's Castle type thing, but French people. And there's video of her like trying to scooch her way across this like giant foam cylinder. And it looks really sexual. And it went viral. And I was like, that's my girlfriend. So in like 2008, she came to the US, was doing a master's degree from Florida International. And so we were able to see each other a whole bunch then. And then I was supposed to go visit her in August, go down to Miami in August 2010. I had tickets and everything. I was going to go spend a month with her. And then June that year is when she got hit by the drunk driver. And that was that. But no, she was a cool chick. You know, she had run through bad things and, you know, sought help to escape and make life better and didn't let it define who she was. And, you know, something I always appreciated about her. And, but yeah, she was a good lady. And then I'll talk more about her in about 6 weeks is the anniversary of her death. And that's when I make my annual plea to don't drive drunk. Just don't. You know, call me, call an Uber, have a friend drive you, sleep in your car, do whatever. Just don't go on the road. The guy that killed her, it was the third time he had driven the wrong direction on I-95 in Miami. The third time. And it was his last time because both of them died. He was doing about 130 the wrong way on I-95 and just plowed into her head on. There's no way anyone survives that. He was just a drunk asshole who did drunk asshole things. And now he's gone and she's gone and forever changed the lives of everyone around her. My life is completely different today than it would be if she was still around. The life of her sister, her brother, her dad, her, like, everything. And just, you know, it's so easy to just be like, yeah, I'm not driving. Ta-da! I know you're drunk. I know your brain's not thinking these things through. Like, oh, I can totally do it. But we got to pound it into your skulls. Just don't drive drunk. Don't do it. It serves no benefit for anyone. There's no purpose. Just chill, man. Just chill out. Get a cab. Sleep in your car. Stay at your friend's house. Whatever. That's what I ask of you. So June 18th is when I do my normal annual, hey, don't be a dick call. But yeah, the driver's not in jail. The driver didn't live. He died as well. But for the fact that he had gone the wrong way on I-95 twice before while drunk, the fact that he still had a license is what pisses me off. I think there should be a 2 DUI and you're out rule. You get a second DUI, you are never allowed to drive a car again. Period. You're done. I don't care if you get sober later. I don't care. You now have to like take a bicycle, get cabs, ask for rides, ride the bus. 2 chances. That's all you get. First chance, yeah, you made some mistakes. Second chance, nope, this is already a pattern of behavior. It's like baseball. I'm going to do a baseball analogy. The Europeans are going, ugh. You have a starting pitcher. They're kicking ass. Through 6 innings. They're throwing no hit ball. They're going fantastic. They got gas. They got movement. Doing a great job. They come out in the 7th, and the fastball's 5 miles an hour slower, and now they're wild. The pitchers are going all over the place. One hitter, yeah, you can have a fluke. One hitter, the guy gets walked, whatever. Second time it happens, pull the dude. He's at over 100 pitches. It's time to pull him and put somebody else in there. You just got to know when it's like a pattern of behavior happening. So you yank that pitcher. He's not going to pitch again in that game. You yank that drunk driver, the second DUI, and that's it. Their consequence is they got to take the bus. Or be wealthy enough to have a chauffeur. One or the other. Or be that guy riding his children's Huffy with no helmet on the side of the road. See those guys a lot. Like, and DUI. So, yeah. Anyway, on to happier stuff. Trey Spiders here. P. Longstocking's options are crazy. Yeah. Kevin Malone posted a picture of the crap. Julio, where'd you send it to me? Did you send it to me in Blue Sky? Or did you send it to me? Where was it? Wasn't there. All right. Must have been in Reddit. I can't remember people send me everything. I have like 45 different ways to contact me. None of them are on Twitter anymore. Okay. Okay. Will that work? There we go. All right. Okay, so here's the options chain. And right now it's showing max pain at around $12. And we're sitting currently at 16. So we're already a little ways up the options chart here. This is just for 5-10 options. This doesn't count the monthlies that go next week. So if you get a little bit of runaway, let's say the thing floats to 19 for a moment, you're going to start having some serious delta hedging and you're going to start to gamma ramp. They need to have this thing at $12 or else the price will be up again next week. And the options writers, I don't want the price up when those monthlies come up on the 17th, because having a price around $17 or something, I think triggers close to 80,000 options being in the money. And that's insane. That's 8 million shares that Monday they got to go looking for. If it jumps and takes out this entire thing, I think that ends up being about 10 million shares they got to go looking for. And if they need 4 million shares today, and we saw a volume of 40 million as a result, what happens if they need 8 to 10 million shares? The volume will be nuts. And we will see volatility just start to do the weirdest stuff ever. So, yeah, their max pain is right around there, somewhere in the $12 range, $12.50. Sorry, no, it says max pain 11.5. So I guess $11.50 is max pain. Interesting. I'd love to have Kevin Malone on one of these days. Anyone can reach out to him and ask if he wants to come on the show. I would love to have him on. He seems like a interesting dude. We used to follow each other on Twitter, and then poof, Houston gets the band hammer yet again. Okay. Michael Harrow, Houston, what comes after chin stroking? It is not what I think it is it? Going from to Julius Miami, Houston, do not utter that word Enron ever again. Enron. Low B, did Monkey win the fight? She was going to win the fight. The dog ran up to her, and she's like, "Oh, goodness gracious, that was really sudden." And then just turned and just got her on the neck and was like, "Brr." And I managed to get my hands in there and pried the dog's mouth off her neck and like shoved him to the side. And I was going to try to grab, and Monkey just was like, "Fuck this," and then got him on the neck and was just, brr. And then I got to get her mouth open and off of him and then put her on her back. But immediately I could put her on her back. She was like, "What?" I was just defending myself. I know you're defending yourself, but like we have to calm the situation down. The other dog was like, "I'm gonna still murder," but the old guy had finally gotten control of him by then. But yeah, no, Monkey. You guys saw the video of when Monkey and Snoopy went at it that one time. Snoopy weighs 140 pounds. Monkey is like 65 pounds, and Monkey kicked his ass. Like Snoopy's designed to murder wolves that come near the sheep. And Monkey's designed to take down 400-pound boar. She whooped Snoopy, no problem. 70-pound black lab is not going to kick her butt. But she did pull muscle on her. She's favoring her butt a little bit. So I don't know if it was post-fight, after-fight, next day soreness or what. But she's like so slow to climb up anything. If I'd ask her to come up here right now, she would just be like, yeah, you want to come up here, Monkey? Come up here? No? Yeah? You need to scratch yourself? Come on, monks. Come on. Come on. Up here. Come on. Get up here. Come on. Oh, you're thinking about it. Oh, yeah, that one leg. Oof. Come on, you can do it. There you go. So slow. So slow. That little leg is just so slow. Here. We'll help you out. There you go. You can be Emperor Palpatine. There we go. Yes. Yes, feel the hate course through you. Right, Emperor? Right? She's like, have I been a good enough dog for Stinky Beef yet? We'll do Stinky Beef in 15 minutes. All right? 15 minutes. T-minus 15 for Stinky Beef. Oh, here's the people saying it's a tool for watch bracelet removal. Okay, that's what I think. So that's what you get, Dimitri. Hope you got enough watches. You got to change out the. I always just use like a push pin, just like cut them out that way. But now you have a tool specifically designed for getting those bracelets, bands off. Matthew Jackson, a psycho roommate stories, slobs, etc. My last year at Hawaii, we had a terrible roommate. So I would go home for the summer, and then I had one of my roommates was doing an internship, so he stayed for the summer. And we had rented out our basement basically as a bedroom because it's a really big open basement, and then it had its own bathroom and shower and everything. So we had a couple of girls that lived down there that shared that big space, and then they moved out at the end of the spring, and my roommate was like, "Hey, there's a guy in our astronomy program. He and his girlfriend need a place. They can move in." And I was like, "Well, okay, sure, that works." as long as they pay the rent, we're cool. And they moved in for the summer, and I heard from my roommate that, like, they got fights a lot, and it was weird and uncomfortable, and it seemed like he drank a lot. And I was like, huh, well, they're paying their rent, so okay. I get back. School starts really early in Hawaii, like middle of August is when school starts. So I'm there about first week of August, move in, and it's weird. Like, I didn't really know the dude. Like, he had shown up to our program, I guess, that winter, and I did not know him. I had seen him around, but I didn't know who he was. And after, like, meeting him really and chit-chatting, and he just gave me really creepy vibes. His eyes were Charles Manson-y. Like, he's a little dude. He was like 5'2" with like long hair and a big long beard, and he just had these like crazy eyes. And that right there is like, whoa, this guy gives me weird vibes. So, yeah, the fights continue. They don't really, like, she pays me her share of the rent. It is like pulling teeth to get his rent out of him. I remember one month, and this must have been like September. So we were only a couple weeks in. He hadn't paid his rent yet. And we're at halfway through the month. I'm like, hey man, I need you to give me your share of the rent. And this is like, he's like, with this like giant 40-ounce Corona, and he's pouring it. He's like, right now, man? Like, I just poured myself a beer. And it's like, yes, right now. I'm a poor college student. I don't have enough money to pay our rent, so go get it. He like stomps downstairs, and he comes back up with a check. He's like, fine. It's like, this is weird. A few days later, we're getting close to October. I get a phone call from the landlord. He's like, I need you guys to all move out of my house now. And I was like, what? Why? He's like, the gardener found a whole bunch of pot plants growing. I was like, oh, I know who that is. Can I just evict him and be fine? Because we told him not to do stuff like that. He's like, fine, whatever. Like, I cannot afford to have my house seized by the government. I was like, I can't afford to have my student loans never come in again because I've got a drug charge on me from this idiot roommate. So I go down. I'm like, hey man, the landlord found your pot plants. You got to get out. You got 1 week to move everything out. And he was like, oh, this is unfair. I'm going to call the landlord. I'm like, don't bother, dude. He's going to tell you to get the fuck out of here also. He like calls the landlord, and the landlord calls me. He's like, don't ever have that asshole call me again. It's like, no problem. So, his roommate goes off to work, and he was an astronomy person. So he was working up on the mountain on one of the telescopes. So I was going to be gone for a while. And his girlfriend's home, like, hey, let's just say, can we have a talk? You guys fight a lot. It sounds like you're pretty miserable. We discovered Sam was growing marijuana, like a gajillion plants, and the landlord is kicking him out. He has to go. Now, you don't have to go. You're welcome to stay here if this is what you want, or you're welcome to go with him. She's like, I don't want to go with him. I want to stay here. And, oh no, I remember what it was. Before that, I texted her and I was like, hey, Sam is getting evicted. You're welcome to stay if you want to. And I'd never texted her before. So I put like, this is Houston, by the way. And I get this message back, and it's like, just says, this is roommate's name, like the guy. Try not to use his name. And I was like, oh, he has her phone. This really is an abusive relationship. So then I met with her in person when I went off to work and explained that it sounds like Sam keeps your phone. Oh, shit, it says use his name. Whatever. Fuck him. It sounds like Sam takes your phone. and he keeps it so that you can't call people or get messages. She's like, yeah, I've been trying to call my dad because I want to go home. And they lived in Pennsylvania. And I was like, okay, well, you can use my phone to call your dad. So she like calls her dad, and he's like, okay, I'll get a plane ticket for her and whatever, so she can get out of this place. And I'm in my room. I'm working on something. I'm doing homework or something. It's like 3:00 in the morning because we're all night owls, astronomers. And roommate comes home from work. I guess I have headphones on, so I don't hear anything. I guess he gets in a fight with his girlfriend. She's like, fuck you, I'm going back to Pennsylvania. And he's like, who told you about me being evicted? Blah. And he comes upstairs. Remember, this guy's like 5'1", 5'2", teeny tiny. And he bursts into my room and he's like, if you ever talk to my girlfriend again, I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, this is what Houston did. I was like, I got up, grabbed him, threw him up against the wall, took my phone and dialed 911 and just held him there. And his little legs are kicking, his arms are swinging, but he's so small, he can't do anything about it. And called 911 operator. And then I was like, 911, I'm help you. I'm like, yeah, my roommate just threatened to kill me. I need the police to come and get him. So the cops come. And my other roommates are not small people. Like one he's like my size, 200 pounds, 6'3", whatever. The other one is the strongest human being I've ever met in my life. Not a tall dude, like 5'10", 5'11", but could bench press a car. Absolutely just freak mouse stand deficiency. His arms are like this. All he does is go surfing and play WoW all day long. And they do not make dumbbells at the gym big enough for him to curl. Like the 160-pound dumbbells, he's like, meh, this is useless. And so cops come and they're talking to the evil roommate. And they see like the three of us, large human beings, and this tiny little Charles Manson looking motherfucker. And the cop's like, okay, so we're gonna have him leave for the night. You're welcome to go file a restraining order. Just explain stuff to us. And he like turns around to do something, and the roommate looks back at the three of us, goes, I'm gonna kill all of you. We're like, officer, he just did it again. What? He just said he's gonna kill us, and he put a finger across his throat. And the cop looks at him. He's like, I would never do anything like that. Cop turns around again. You're all dead. I'm like, he just did it again. He just tried to kill us again. So he did like 3 times where the cop turned his back. So cop makes him leave for the evening. Again, I don't know if he finds a place to stay or wherever he goes. And the next day, I go to the court. I got to file restraining order paperwork. And restraining orders in Hawaii are freakish. Like here, if I need to file a restraining order against someone, it's like $35. Right? You have a little hearing. The judge rules if it's going to be temporary restraining order, and then you have a second hearing where both parties show up. And in Hawaii, it was like $250 to file, and then you have to pay a process server to serve it on them. Whereas here, the cops just serve it. Cops get it, they just find the person, serve it to them. There's no cost whatsoever. My guess is because Hawaii has so much domestic violence that cops would be doing nothing but process serving all day long if they made it affordable, so that people could be like safe from their abusive partners, whatever. So I have to go to the airport and pay this really large Hawaiian man named Rockney, who's a security guard at the airport, a small fortune for a college student, to serve my roommate with the restraining order. And so Rockney, we strike a deal. I give him cash, and he's like, okay, brother, I'll go serve him right now. And so he leaves. And I was like, give it a few hours. So I give it a few hours. And I come back home and to find Rockney in the process of process serving the roommate. I'm like, fuck. And Rocky's like, you're supposed to be here. Get out of here. So he serves him, and he's got to leave. He's got to leave for at least 2 weeks until we have our court hearing on the matter. And so basically his girlfriend packs up all his stuff. Another mutual person we know comes, collects it all, and takes it somewhere. And so 2 weeks later, we have our hearing. So this is now sometime middle of October, probably by now. And so my 2 roommates and I show up to court. We're in Hawaiian shirts and board shorts and flip-flops because that's what you wear in Hawaii. And the evil little roommate shows up, and he's taken off his long locks. He shaved his beard. He's got this like little green, looks like a little boy's suit from the 70s on. It's like this little green kind of velour, velvety suit. And he looks like a child. He looks like he's teeny tiny. I discover he's like in his mid-30s. We're in our mid-20s. He's way older than us. And he just looks like this little tiny boy. And I wrote my restraining order in such a way that when a judge reads it, they go, oh, this guy sounds like a piece of shit. I think the line I used was, I don't want a drug dealer prone to violence living in my home, is how I worded it. So the judge reads it. He has both of us give our sides. And he says something to the effect of, I'm going to require that you gentlemen go to mediation. And in mediation, I hope you can come to an agreement that's acceptable. Because if you don't come to an agreement, it comes back before me in the court, and I will make a decision in which one of you will be very upset, and some of you will be extremely pleased. And I was like, who's the one of us and who's the some of us? So we have to go to mediation. And it's like twice a week for the next month. So we meet these very nice ladies who are court, trained mediators. We have to go in this room for an hour and discuss things. And during this entire time, like I'm trying to finish my senior thesis. I've got all these classes I got to finish. This is my last quarter of school, last semester of school. So it's stressful enough. And I have a girlfriend at the time who was very up and down. So we like goes mediation, and in mediation I explained to him, like, look, dude, I want to go to court. I want this on your record. I don't, like, there's no benefit from mediation for me. It only benefits you. So you really have to like sell it to me to give me something that's beyond what the court could give me, which is I never have to talk to you again, never have to see you again, and you just fuck off, right? And eventually it takes the entire month. Finally, the last day of mediation before we have to go back to court, he just throws up his hands and he's like, fine, whatever you want. And so I got him, he was required to sign an agreement. He was required to go to anger management counseling once a week for every week he lived in Hawaii. And he had to go to drug and alcohol abuse counseling for every week that he lived in Hawaii, for as long as he lives in the state of Hawaii. And if he misses it and skips it or just stops going, then the restraining order gets made full and it goes on his criminal record. And he gets ruled as violating his restraining order. So he agrees. He's like, fine, I'll do anything you want, and signs it. I'm like, perfect. This works for me because he's gonna fuck up. And of course he does. I graduate that December. I leave, move back to Seattle, and I come back in May to see some of my friends graduate because they're graduating, and spend some time in Hawaii. And while I'm there, I'm like, I might as well check in with his counselors to see if he's been showing up. And so I go check in with his counselors, like, hey, has this roommate been showing up to his meetings? Like, oh no, he stopped coming like 5 months ago. I'm like, cool, awesome. So I contact the court, let them know that he's in violation of our agreement. They throw the full restraining order on him, rule that he's been violating his restraining order, and have him arrested. So that was good. Fuck that guy. And last time I was in Hawaii, I found out that he had become like this weird hippie grifter, where he was like living on some farm and brainwashing like people who hitchhike to work for him and stuff. So, winner. Oh, also during the mediation, the other thing we found out, so he had been like being really sexual with a few female friends of mine, like through messages and stuff. We found out those female friends like, oh my God, he's been like, sending me the grossest things. I'm like, this dude has a girlfriend, whatever. And so that was gross enough. But then we discovered that he was married, that he had a wife back in Pennsylvania, and he was refusing to let her divorce him because he had stolen like $100,000 from her family and basically fled to Hawaii with his new girlfriend. So, just a great thank you, other roommate, for getting this guy to move into our home. It really made my last semester of school in Hawaii just top notch. Yeah. So there you go. There's nightmare roommate story. Okay, more things. K3 GME volume was crazy today. Hope the lid bursts soon, and we all can sit back on the beach, escape the rat race. Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? And not have to have psycho roommates to deal with. People agreeing, watch links. Confidence and Homer, Fidelity trying to borrow my GME shares again for $25 a month. You might as well sell covered calls. If you can, like, $25 a month to lend out however many hundreds or thousands of shares you have. That's absolutely terrible. You could sell a covered call and make like $300 a week. So we all have the chance of losing all your shares if the price goes that way. Covered puts then, whatever. Steve Latham, Houston. Every time I bought shares of GME or AMC today, Robinhood popped up a message asking me to lend out shares every time. I'd never had that happen before. That seems to be the running perspective, is that no one has shares that they're willing to lend or available to borrow. So, yeah. Confidence Homer, where's my throw up emoji? Can I read Houston? What's your thoughts on Apple Watch feature getting FDA approval? Will this have much effect on no labs? The Apple Watch feature is a heart rate monitor that can let people know when they're like in AFib, which I think is a good thing. Like if like, hey man, you know that flu feeling you have? Turns out your heart's dying, so they might want to go to the hospital. Totally think that's awesome. It's different than the non-invasive glucose monitor. There was talk last year about Apple wanting to incorporate a glucose monitor in their watch, but I do not think they have the tech available to do it. I think they've been going the same route as everyone else, which is with those optical sensors. Those optical sensors only work on white people. So white people can know what their glucose level is, but no one else can, apparently, with that tech. So, but my, I wouldn't doubt if they try for it. Scott Pollen, I had a dream the other night about GameStop and Pizza Rolls collaboration. I'm not sure if that's possible, but salivating at the opportunity. Scott Pollen, also Kendrick is literally killing Drake right now. Some of the best hip-hop rap battle of the decade. Mm-hmm. Drake does not have the chops to follow up with what Kendrick is giving him. He just doesn't. Yeah. I saw Maddox had a funny post today. And it was like, this rap battle between Kendrick Lamar and Drake has gone too far, with Kendrick bringing up Drake's lovers. Children shouldn't be brought into the middle of this. It's funny stuff. All right. Confidence Homer, just guy was working in Austria. He posted some. That's what I thought. He usually like around late winter, heads off to Austria and spends some time there in the mountains, like working at a bar or something and getting some skiing in. So, Don Caesar Shadem, I'm 3 episodes behind. Exam week. You in options play currently? Tesla puts, GME calls. I got nuked on GME earnings again. I have some calls for this week for GME, and I've got Tesla puts for September. I have no idea if the Tesla ones will ever trigger. I can hope. But those are my 2 options plays at the moment. And Nil 2191. Please explain the BBY bonds update. Do you have any? I posted it to the subreddit. Boink. Come on, internet. You can do it, right, monkey? You gotta run faster. Oh, shoot. We're past the 15-minute mark. That's okay. One sec. Once I can get the stupid internet to go change pages. There we are. There we go. There's the bonds thing. Okay. So Eggwan made the post from a filing that was posted to Kroll. We had basically the claim status is scheduled, meaning they're going to pay off $1 billion in these bonds, and so that money's heading there, and that they show that these notes are scheduled to be paid. Now, anything over $10 million has to get approval from the court. So these bonds are worth $1 billion. So they got to go to the court and say, hey, court, we need permission to pay these things off. So if they're paid off, that means that the DIP and Philo are satisfied. And are the DIP and Philo satisfied because they got paid the hundreds of millions of dollars they were owed? Or are they satisfied because they made a credit bid and said, hey, we will forgive the debt that's owed to us and we will pay off the unsecured creditors with this credit bid, which is kind of the hope that I have going. But we got to wait for the judge to rule on whether these things get paid or not, and if they're paid in full. But it looks like from the value amount at the $1 billion that they're going to try and pay it in full here. This $1,029 million thing. So that's what we got. So cross those fingers, dot those I's, stroke that chin, twiddle those thumbs, and that would be a beautiful thing. That's what I'd say. Okay. Lil B gifted 10 memberships. Daphne got one. Antonio Baez, Logic Dustbin, Iggy Lamone, Hazel A, Fred Jones, Joseph Lee, Timothy Sudik, KCTB, and Alexander K all got memberships. Oh, it's not too much in the lurker hunting on that one, but they got them. And Prontol's given some. Circe Invidiosa, 1892, Leon Noel, David Wright, Mike Hausen, Tony Yu, Ben Lilo, Artemis, Liquid Hammer, Kook De Capo, and Jay Webb. Got a few lurkers on that one. Got what? 1, 2, 3 lurkers? 4 lurkers? 3.5 lurkers? Good. Prontal wins lurker hunting on that one. Lurker fishing. Okay, where am I? Okay, that was the No Labs question. That's Pizza Rolls question. The Kendrick Lamar one. Just in Austria. Joseph Lee. How can I ask my boss for more work without letting her know that I usually don't do anything on Wednesdays? It's like, boss, give me more work, just not on Wednesdays. I guess that's how you put it. But then you'd let her know that you don't do anything on Wednesdays. Boss, give me more work, but never expect anything due on a Wednesday. How about that? Brendan Wells is here. BBBY Brand Monkey really is sore. I wonder if Batman can make her move. Oh, of course. Batman can always make her move, right? Oh, yeah, that's right, Monkey. I forgot to... We're now 22 minutes from when I said it was going to be 2 minutes. All right. Sweet. Thank you. You can stay right there. You don't have to move. You can stay right there. You don't have to move at all. I'll make you come down. I'll just hand them to you like this. Because you're a sore dog. You deserve to be, like, hand-fed sticky beefs. And have, like, you know, the Unix wave palm prawns. Right? You little empress, you. You know, is that good? There's a piece right there. Right there. And the catnip fell down. Can't have the catnip falling down. Stay up there. Stay up in the catnip zone. All right. Let's turn off the Nuggy stare because I know I will accidentally send that. I'm max headrooming a little bit. Dang it. YouTube not receiving enough video information. Come on, YouTube. Get your shit together. Okay. Where was I? The monkey sore. Second intro calls paid off. Yes, they did. Timothy Dubois. Or Thomas Dubois. Houston. Any news on Nextbridge kicking the crap out of Trade Station? No updates on that. Their hearing is on the 31st, I believe. So we got till the end of the month to twiddle our thumbs on that. We're not quite chin stroking there. We're twiddling our thumbs for MMTLP still. We've not upgraded the status to code orange. Jay Geyser, can you upload that list for us that you just added to the 3-year limit? Please and thank you. Yeah, I should put that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do a screenshot of it and I'll post it to the subreddit, and then people can make their own suggestions on there. How about that? I'll pin it. I'll post the subreddit and I'll pin it so it's up there at the top so everyone can make suggestions. Erica, can you tell something about the caste system? I read they're going to vote for it. They're basically voting on a rule to eliminate market makers from having to participate in the CAT system tomorrow, I believe. Hopefully it fails miserably, but I have my doubts. Those pockets are deep. And it seems to be something that's kind of rushed in there because Citadel's like, well, dare they? But if Democrats are smart, they'll go, wait a minute. He doesn't like us, and he's the biggest single donor to our opposition's party. So the trail is market maker manufactures this thing out of nothing and then sold it to someone and never delivered. And that's what we're going to see dominating like 60% of trades happening for a host of stocks. And that's why they don't want it, because it will show their crimes to the world, and they know they're criminals. They don't have the money to close this stuff out. Therefore, they need to keep the system the way it is. That's the only way they know how to make their money is through criminal actions. Oh my goodness, I lost my spot. Where were we? Scrolling. Okay, there we go. That was Erica. J Geyser, as a density wave passes us, we will get micronova. Suspicious observers has a whole series on YouTube on it. That's actually, you probably will get lots of novas because you'll have all sorts of material falling into existing stars, changing their mass. So imagine our solar system passes into one of these density waves, right? We're passing into big giant gas, cloud gas. We do have solar winds pushing dust away, but there's going to be all sorts of material that will fall into the gravity well of the sun that will overcome the solar winds trying to push it out, and our sun will gain mass. And as it does so, it'll probably, get a little brighter at time. But we've passed through. It takes us about 250 million years to make one loop of the galaxy, and we probably passed through 2 density waves in that time. So pass through 2 density waves. So we've done that. We've been around for 4.5 billion years. That's 4 times per billion years. So it's about, 16, 17, 18 times or so that we passed through density, or we've gone around the galaxy. So that means about 36 times we passed through these density waves. So they're we've had extinctions kind of might be on par with when we pass through density waves, because we might have comets or other things crash down the Earth during that time. It could unsettle the Oort cloud, which is where all those comets are sitting at the far reaches of our solar system and just throw comets at us. There's all sorts of weird things that could happen from passing through those density waves. J Geyser, galactic current is just like our solar wave current. Excited box. Memory card case is actually pretty useful for lots of people. Just depends on your job and hobbies. Watch link removal tool is only useful for a watchmaker or precision machinist. Well, Dmitry Maximov's got a new hobby on the way. Excited box, no regulation, S3 exemption for offshore holding of shorts. That's another one, okay. I like that. 15. No exemption for S3, for regulation S3 for offshore holding of shorts. I like it. I'm going to double up the 15 again. Okay. Boom. I like that one. Joseph DeSantis, Houston. Do you think the new lawsuit against the board will now put a resolution for Chapter 11 further out? Also, my birthday. I think that there will be a settlement that goes like that. Because none of the people who are culpable or the underwriters, JP Morgan, want that dirty laundry out there. It'll be easier for them to just cut a check for whatever amount the plan administrator wants. I don't think it will last long at all. Ryan Presley, cheers for Lake Pontchartrain. Steve Brand, Batman's been something monkey sniffing. He was outside. He was probably out murdering forest creatures because he just, for being a fat dude, he manages quite a high body count. Going through nip withdrawals. Citizen 54, considering big funds are donating to Republicans, do you think they will dump the market right before the election to hurt Biden? Would it hurt Biden enough? I don't think big funds want to dump anything because I don't think those big funds will survive dumping things. They can threaten it, they can do whatever, but like, if your goal is to be a master of the universe, you don't get that way by imploding your own fund. You get that way by growing your fund even larger. So if they volunteer, like, I will sacrifice myself for the good of the Republican Party, I don't think they're doing that. I think that their payments to the Republican Party are purely based upon their wanting to survive. Now, they might be willing to sacrifice somebody else, but the problem is, as we saw with January 2021, is it's a chain reaction. One goes under, they sell off their assets, that causes the price of assets for everyone to drop, and then they're impacted, and just one after another would go down because they're all the same. They all do the same plays, they all have the same ideas, they all attack the same companies, and they all have the exact same holdings as assets. So when one goes down, it can start hitting all the others. There's not much of a buffer between them. So they can let a couple of small guys go, like those funds that are $400 million, etc. But they cannot afford to have one of the big ones go down, because that will just start imploding everybody. So, G-Font, Show 500 coming in a few months. How about an all-star guest lineup? Ooh. So 3 shows a week. I've got 49 to go. That's, 15 weeks? About 15, 16 weeks. So 4 months? Then show 50? Might be a little faster than that. So it'll be August? Might be a little sooner. Might be a little sooner than August. But, yeah, noted. Word. Yes. Well, the video clip of her was easy to find. Anthony Cordell, one more rule to your list: no expert market. I dig it. No expert market. Bam. Yeah, that's dumb. Let me gamble on 15-year-old Lehman Brothers shares, because every once in a while it jumps 13,000%. So, yes. Thomas Dubois, PSA, the like button changes color if you touch it. So touch it. Just, play a little game, just a tip. See, Gil sold one of my 3 GME calls, all January expiration. Hold the other 2, but still close to 100%. Want more and would exercise if financially able. Can't stop, won't stop. You sell them, you buy some more GameStop shares with it. You sell them, you buy some more GameStop shares with it. That's what I do with them. Zebra Cove, why even talk about Trump? No wonder reviews are down. Well, I don't care if the pro-Trump people don't watch me. That's the thing. Because I'm not going to ignore what's happening in reality just to help the delusions of a few people who get angry when I talk about Trump. Oh, how dare you? Brah. I don't care. I'm not going to sell myself out for that guy. Right? Like, everyone who sells themselves out for him has basically been charged with crimes. So I am not going to do that. I have at least a minimal amount of integrity. BBBY brand, animals lack some of the muscle preservation limits our brains use to protect us from overexertion. Pound for pound, most animal muscles can be called upon to exert more force than people can muster. Yep. A little 90-pound chimpanzee can rip your arms out the sockets. Why? Because of the ligament structure in their muscles. Just freaks of nature, right? This creature, she can jump like 7 feet if she wants to. I cannot jump 7 feet if I want to. She's like a flea, right? She can run 40 miles an hour. I cannot run 40 miles an hour. So, yeah, they can do some pretty phenomenal stuff, right? Right, little freakazoid? Yeah. You're just a little grumpus right now. I know your butt hurts. It's okay. We'll pet your head and tell you that you're a good dog. Yes, you are. You're a good dog. You're a good dog. Zebra Cove, Vivek Ramaswamy at Pulte event tomorrow. Daphne's here. Fantastic. Zebra Cove, is the roommate Jewish? Well, one of them is, yes. Current roommate. The roommate story was not about current roommates. That was college roommate 18 years ago. It's just me as Houston frozen. Did I freeze? My internet may be awful. I have no idea. Okay. Sam sucks. Thomas Dubois, my grandpa always warned me about a woman with a wrench. I have no idea what that means. Daphne's finally home. Fantastic. Women with wrenches are a force to be reckoned with for sure. Rosie the Riveter. Yes, you can. Frozen Productions, where's Grandpa Barney? I have no idea. I've not heard from him. I sent a message, didn't hear back. I mean, it's been windy. Maybe he's on the power poles, working the poles for everybody. B of H, it was certainly an unforgettable semester of college, that's for sure. Yeah. It's a very stressful last semester of college. Absolutely. Oh. Chris Taylor, VFib is death, AFib is stroke risk. That's right. Yes. Yes. J Fart. Hey, Daphne. And that Daphne says, hey, J Fart. All right. Through the gifts here. Video brand strange, only one color for thumbs up, but emoji many colors for thumbs down. Interesting. Okay, people having conversations, chit-chatting. Staunchy shaded, I totally don't understand the lurker gift membership thing. People like to see, because there's probably 50 or 100 of you who are regular in the chat, but then we have another 1,000 views, 4,000 views that happen, and people don't ever say anything. And so when they give gift memberships, you will see names pop up they've never seen appear in the chat, and then we call them lurkers because they're like in the shadows watching the show. So, and I literally get letters from some, like one dude sent me full on letter all about like, hey, I don't have social media accounts, but I watch your show and I just have this thing about BBBY I was questioning about. So I get like full on actual, snail mail letters. By all means, send me letters. Send me goofy shit. I love it. I love going to a P.O. box and like, you got a package and it's really dense. And I pick it up and I have no idea what it is. And inside is like a Lego set or weird things like that. Sometimes it might be a Stream Deck or just goofy stickers. People love sending me stickers. I have a drawer just full of stickers. And I think my goal is post MOAS, I will get like a classic, 23 window Volkswagen van. And instead of painting it, I will just cover it in stickers and then clear coat it. The van will weigh 1,000,000 pounds, but I'll have all your stickers on it. Chris Taylor, what's up with Koss? It's on a little rip. Koss is in the short basket. They got shorted along with everyone else. And when anything rips, like if GME rips, Koss goes with it along with a couple other stocks. So Koss is tied to GME that way. It's weird because there's no options market for Koss. Yeah. Zuma God dude with nub. Zuma God dude with nub. I wish I could get my tinnies. Me too. Me too. I lost my spot again. This thing resets constantly and then I can't find. There we go. Cook de Capo, my third membership. Thanks, always here. Don't see your Shadem cost. The only stock I made money on and during the squeeze of January to March 2021. Is that one you sold? Dr. Zeno, Gary Gensler dresses up farm pigs in miniskirts and he weeps at their feet, versing love poems to them. And Woodnot says, looks like Ramaswamy will be in Atlanta tomorrow. He'll be captaining the space stuff to our rocket ship. We Houston, Atlanta. Have fun, Atlanta. I am not going anywhere. If I could go somewhere, I would have kept those Miami Grand Prix tickets and I would have gone to that. Joseph Howard, is there elements we can throw at our sun to change its color output? Nope. So the sun itself, its color and output are derived entirely from its mass, which dictates the rate at which hydrogen gets fused into helium, and that rate determines how hot it is. So if it's a little guy, it's a little red dwarf, it's not burning very much hydrogen to helium, it's burning slow, cool temperatures, red. If it's yellow, it's burning more. If it's blue, purple, white, blue, or purple, it's burning a lot more, and it's burning it very hot and very fast. And that's what determines the color of a star. What we can get is when the star leaves the main sequence, which is when it's burning hydrogen into helium, and it gets the big degenerate core of helium, and you get a little bit of hydrogen burning around it. But what happens is all of a sudden the helium will fuse into carbon. You get the helium flash, and the star grows in size, in volume, and ends up becoming a little more red. And you start to enter the giant phase as you start burning heavier elements, and the envelope of the star gets larger and larger and larger, and thus the temperature gets cooler and cooler and cooler. And that's how you can have stars change color over time. But like the stars are burning so hot, they're not burning like you would have like fireworks. You put different elements into a firework and it explodes, and you get green colors and red colors and stuff like that. The sun doesn't really work that way, because it's only fusing hydrogen to helium. So that's the only real color you get from it, is just how hot that hydrogen to helium action is happening. Just asking for a friend. Hey dog, tether goes down this year. Oh, I thought tether would have gone down 3 years ago. But they managed to like keep firing their auditors, because the auditors keep asking questions they don't want to answer. So like, oh, we can't find an auditor, to be honest. But they keep firing everyone. Laza, hi birthday Houston, just tuned in. What the fuck is going on with GME today? It's like 25% swing back and forth. Was hoping for moon. Ditto. My guess is that the desperate actors are desperate today, and that's why you're seeing that happen. I don't think they want the stock price to be where it is by Friday. And if it's close to that on Friday, it might get that little push as the delta hedging and gamma ramping happens. Don Caesar Shadem, how about episode 500 as a Zoom call with all your OG fans? Sure. Why not? I like that. Philip Zock would love to hear your mind-bending lecture on general relativity. Any chance you could dedicate an episode of your show to it? I could probably do that. Yeah. Bring out my week 8, because it's eighth week of Intro to Astronomy is when I break their brains. So bring out my week 8 slides, PowerPoint slides. Yeah, it's possible. We can do that. The God Emperor 41K, can you still get BBY bonds, or did I miss the boat on that one? Apparently the only one selling BBY bonds is Interactive Brokers, IBKR. So hey, I guess if you get an account with them, you can do it. I don't know if you can still buy the 2024s though. That one may have been stopped. But Chad Williams have been following all the voter fraud that is being proven in the 2020 election. No voter fraud has been proven in the 2020 election at all. Every case that was brought forward was basically tossed for being made up. Dinesh D'Souza, the producer of the 2000 Mules, that was called, the documentary that proved that there was like voter fraud going on. He even admitted in court, and the director of the film admitted in court that their videos that show proof of anything. And Dinesh agreed to do a live stream with a reporter from the Washington Post, and they dissect the film. And the reporter of the Washington Post hammers Dinesh D'Souza, and he's like, "This doesn't prove anything. Does it prove, like, what did you do to make this happen? Or we just like paid an actor to reenact the scene and stuff like that." He got ripped apart by the Washington Post, and he could not answer it. I'll post the link. Washington Post Dinesh D'Souza, 2,000 mules. This one? Team behind 2,000 mules call out for deception again. Nope, that's not the article. That is, oh come on. No, let me sign in. I have a stupid account with you. You never remember that I have an account. You always have to sign in. Yeah. One sec. Take me a second. Yep. Solve the puzzle. What? Is someone trying to steal year-old articles from... My God, Washington Post, making it take forever. Come on. Oh, D'Souza challenged me to watch the video, which I was eager to do. Okay, this is it. This is the one. So Philip Bump watches the video and then does a Zoom call with Dinesh D'Souza and completely just obliterates him. I highly recommend reading it. Let's see if I can do it. Can I gift this article? Article from a year ago. Fix Biden election. Sometimes you can like gift an article to everybody if it's behind the paywall. Share. I want to share. Share as a gift. Yes. 10 gift articles. Let's share as a gift. Okay. So all of you in the chat, you can read this article and then laugh at Dinesh D'Souza, who is a convicted criminal, by the way. He's a convicted felon who committed a host of campaign finance violations, had to get pardoned by Trump. So, he's a felon. Dakota Gregory Chadswick Duckingsworth the fourth. Sorry, I'm late to class. I'll watch it. Watch over, I promise. That's okay. Oh crap! It's 4:34. I gotta get going. Purportedly stupid Huseman. I'm 40 minutes behind the chat, but the Trump thing makes me think of basketballs. If you guys rip on 14 more times, I'm out of here. That was a funny movie. All right, I'm leaving. I got to mail these things for our winners, Josh Pels Tennessee and Dmitry Maximov, so they can enjoy their fantastic 50-cent wish items. And then maybe we'll have some more exciting ones this coming month. When is Charity Tuesday this month? Charity Tuesday is going to be the 28th. The 28th is our Charity Tuesday this month. I don't know what our charity is going to be. Give me some charity ideas, send them up, and I'll see you guys then. Until then, butterfly? Let's do butterfly and honor the bonds. Butterfly, there you go.
Houston, we have a problem.